Oh, whoops, you caught me listening to the 20-minute song about the armadillo tank. Hello, everyone. I know I haven't uploaded in a while. That's my fault. I have no excuse for that. Anyways, today we're gonna check out my DVD and Blu-Ray collection, which I have obtained over the years. Let's get. So we start with these 10 movie collections. You can find these at like Walmart for pretty cheap, for like a pretty small price. But basically, just 10 movies. This one's best of 80s. Hey, you guys like the 80s? We're gonna oversaturate TV and movies with 80s nostalgia. I can have a whole argument about that. I could probably make an entire video about how that stuff is overused. Anyways, next up is 2001: A Space Odyssey. I've got to upgrade this sometime from just the DVD because this is a very great sci-fi movie, very enjoyable. Airplane is a great. This is a early DVD as well, but it's also just a really great movie, very enjoyable. Next up is Attack and Return of the Killer Tomatoes. And you say, Return? That starts with an R. That should be in the R section. No, this is a sequel, so it's going to be next to the Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, okay? You may also be asking, wait, there's movies about killer tomatoes? Yeah. It's better than you think, okay? For me, at least. Next up is the Blob. This one, it's not the best. Let me explain. Okay, so basically, this one, what I think they did. I can't find the company who really made this. Even then, the font's kind of hard to read. But this DVD, I think they got a VHS. And they digitized it onto a DVD. It looks like a VHS, and there's no DVD menu or anything. When you just put it in, it just starts and then it ends. And it goes back to the menu. So I don't know. This one's kind of interesting. There's not too many options, surprisingly, but get if you can get the Criterion one. There's actually a thought and care put into it. Anyways, next up is Blu-Rays. We got some Blu-Rays here. First we got Big Trouble in Little China, Bill and Ted's Most Excellent Double Feature, and Claire with a Chance of Meatballs. That one's not my favorite animated movie, but it's pretty good. Very kind of cliche though. You can see a lot of tropes in there, but. Anyways, next up is Coming to America with Eddie Murphy. Ooh! You know him, he was in... Next up is a Crocodile Dundee double feature. Elf. I bet a lot of people probably have this DVD somewhere. But I gotta show you something. Cursed Piece of Paper. Okay, first off, on the first side, it's Son of the Mask. And on the other side... it's a Kangaroo Jack animated thing. I don't even know. This is cursed. Both sides is just miserable to look at. Next up is a Flight of the Conchords. Weird show. It's like about you can probably look it up yourself. Anyways, next up is the Frank Capra collection. And you maybe be wondering, hey. I Have a Life. Who is this guy? Well, you see, Frank Capra, he was this director. He made a lot of... He directed It's a Wonderful Life. That's his most well-known work. Gilligan's Island, one of my all-time favorite TV shows. Yeah, it's pretty good. This is a really nice box set. Each season is put in a separate case. It's a nice... packaging. I really enjoy the show. It's very formulaic, I guess. It's just, some episodes don't age well, but Next up is the Godfather DVD collection on DVD because I'm a cheap person. Anyways, I watched the first one. I watched it alone while eating a chicken Alfredo. Yeah, if you like Adam Sandler, then you're wrong, and you have a bad taste in movies automatically if you watch Adam Sandler, because that's what I say. Anyways, next is The Gods Must Be Crazy. It's the I only watched the first one. Great, good movie. Great, message and all that. The only problem is that this DVD is from, I think, Australia. I can only watch it. I had to find something I could play. It was in the Xbox somewhere. Anyways, next up is Godzilla. This is the only Criterion that I own. But this is Godzilla. I love this DVD though. It's so many great. It's just really great looking, and I love the packaging and all that. But Godzilla, crazy, weird, not weird, but just interesting movie. Then there's also Mothra vs. Godzilla. This one also has a nice DVD case. Yeah, Godzilla's like the only thing I really watch from Japan. I don't watch any I haven't watched, any of those samurai movies. I haven't watched Seven Samurai or any really too many anime, but I have watched Godzilla. Anyways, The Golden Child with Eddie Murphy. And then there's The Great Outdoors. This movie, when Dan Aykroyd and John Candy are together, it's an amazing movie, or at least pretty good. But everything else is kind of dumb. Next up is Hogan's Heroes. This is another really great TV show. It's basically like MASH, except a lot less serious. It's a Mad World is Next. Great movie. I love it. It's very enjoyable. You might not find it funny if you're not a fan of, I guess, slapstick, but it is a very exciting movie. Very, I guess it's an action movie in a way. King Kong is a movie that I could say is probably a very, like Citizen Kane, they're like, bro, super innovative. Yeah, sure, but like King Kong, you can see the inspiration for so many movies by Peter Jackson and all those like action adventure movies. They totally come from this. I mean, come on. Next up is The Last Starfighter. This is a movie that's not based off a video game. It's just a movie about a video game. Yeah, this one also uses like early CG, like Tron and all that. I think it looks better than Tron, but Tron had an excuse since it was in a video game. It had an excuse to look somewhat, I guess, primitive. This one is meant to be real CG. Like the CG is meant to be realistic or real life, so kind of just doesn't look as good, despite the fact that it is more advanced CG. Anyways, next up is The Lost Skeleton of Cadaver. This is a great parody. I know how parodies of sci-fi movies are as prominent as parodies of spy movies, but this one's really good. This is Mighty Joe Young. I might like this more than King Kong. I'm not sure. Hot Topic, the movie. I mean, Nightmare Before Christmas. I don't know. It's just, the movie's good. It's like enjoyable, but it's just like the reputation has been completely morphed thanks to, Hot Topic and Spencer's and all those places. Plan 9 from Outer Space is pretty much what Lost Skeleton of Cadaver is pretty much almost parodying, but Plan 9 is almost like a parody of itself. It's just, this is another really enjoyable movie despite how bad it is. Anyways, here's a good sci-fi movie. Planet of the Apes. The Planet of the Apes timeline is really confusing because Return to Planet of the Apes is like the 70s cartoon series. I'm planning on using this for a future project, and if that all goes well, stay tuned for that. Next up is Rat Race, which is like a tribute remake to It's a Mad, 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 Mad World. I hate singing that name. But this one's not as good. I think one problem that I have is that this. I know I sound like a crazy person, but there's not as much. I don't think like chaotic destruction. Like the first movie, it closed out with like a. It was like it closed out with like this crazy big scene where like people were flying everywhere, and it was a really satisfying finale. This one, I don't know. It just didn't have. It ended with Smash Mouth. I mean, well, can you really? Anyways, next is the Ray Harryhausen collection. Definitely check out his work. He's made lots of great special effects. The movies themselves, other than maybe like Seventh Voyage of Sinbad, they're kind of boring. I'm sorry, but I don't know. The characters are just like very uninteresting in a way. You're only there for the special effects, but I guess if you like that stuff, just check it out. Next up is Ren and Stimpy, the complete series. I'm pretty sure. If you like SpongeBob, there. Next up is Shrek. Hey, it's the meme movie. Now Shrek is, I guess, pretty good. I don't know. It's again like Nightmare Before Christmas. The movie's just got a completely morphed reputation. Snakes on a Plane. I don't really know about that one. I think it's one of those movies that's just like where it's like, hey, we're bad. Isn't that funny? But I don't know. I don't really find those as entertaining as movies that make fun of bad. Like Lost Skeleton of Cadaver. That movie is like a parody. It's like it's intentional jokes. But movies like these are just, they say like, oh hey, we're really bad. Get it? Ninja Turtles 1, 2, and 3. Also pretty good. Next up is The Thing and The Thing. This is the remake. John Carpenter's the remake. And the original. The original is also really good, but I think it's just been overshadowed by the remake. The remake's still really good, but the original I think fans should check out because I feel it's different but still fairly similar with like, it has the atmosphere and all that. This is my biggest box set of DVDs. This is the Three Stooges, the Ultimate all the shorts. All of the shorts. This is the Three Stooges are just, they're interesting. I don't know when I'm maybe gonna be able to actually watch through all of this, but maybe someday when I'm 50. I don't know. I think I just find the more live action slapstick to be more, I think, enjoyable for me rather than cartoons. I like what I do in cartoons, but I think it's more impressive since you have to. Like, they had to think outside the box. Like, how are you going to make it look like this guy flew up to the ceiling and hit it through the roof? I don't know, I just kind of like that kind of stuff. Anyways, next is my second largest box. It says Universal Monsters 30 film collection. I think it was 30. Might be a different, maybe a typo, I'm not sure. But I just think there was more. I don't know. Anyways, this one, the Universal Monster movies are always enjoyable. Especially I think Frankenstein might be one of my favorites. So that is my collection. And up here is my PlayStation 2 and Blu-ray player, which I've got to get a remote for. There's also my TV and my Switch. That's just my setup. It's a very thin, danky thin shelf, Oh yeah, also, since I watch more black and white films than you, I automatically have a bigger penis.